President Trump and his entire administration stand fully behind the heroic men and women of ICE and will always uphold law and order.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. This is another yet disturbing story. Americans are reacting after the White House publicly stood with ICE following the killing of Renee Nicole Good during a federal operation. The administration says that the agents acted in self-defense, but many people are questioning why officials rushed to defend ICE before a full independent investigation was completed. The incident has sparked protest, online outrage, and a national debate about accountability, federal power, and how law enforcement operates. Some believe this is justified enforcement, while others see it as another case of excessive force. Let's take a look at how Americans are reacting.
Let me be clear. President Trump and his entire administration stand fully behind the heroic men and women of ICE and will always uphold law and order in the United States of America. The deadly incident that took place in Minnesota yesterday occurred as a result of a larger, sinister, left-wing movement that has spread across our country, where our brave men and women of federal law enforcement are under organized attack.
Breaking news, the ICE agent who shot Renee Good has been identified on Instagram, and the Daily Mail has also done an interview with his father, who has defended him as a tremendous father and husband. Here he is with his wife, and here he is with what appears to be his brother, and that is his father on the right. The man in the middle is called Ben Ross, and he looks like he's probably his brother. This is from Facebook, obviously. And according to the Instagram page of his wife, they did get married in, I believe, 2012. She is 38. Now, according to the interview with the father of Ross, his wife is a U.S. citizen, but his father declined to say how long she has been in the United States. Obviously, she is not from the U.S. She must have been naturalized. His father said, "You would never find a nicer, kinder person. He's a committed conservative Christian, a tremendous father. I couldn't be more proud of him." Unbelievable.
So that's your name, huh? Jonathan Ross. You the one that popped Renee yesterday in Minneapolis, huh? Gang, they done found you and your whole family. No BS. I ain't posting it because I ain't trying to get in trouble, but gang, I saw some ish, bro. They got your whole family tree up on Instagram and X right now, bro. Right now, bro. Don't think the vice president giving you immunity means you safe out there, bro. I heard they looking for you, bro. I'm just saying, gang. There might be some folks out there that really want their head on the stick, bro. Again, I ain't advocating for it. I ain't asking for no federal agent to get hurt. I'm just saying what I'm seeing. There's some people out there trying to look for you, gang. That's all I'm saying.
Meet Jonathan Ross of Minneapolis. I'm not doxing him. Kristi Noem doxed him, and J.D. Vance doxed him. This is the guy who on June 17th of this year was dragged by a car and required stitches. This is the guy that Kristi Noem told everybody was dragged by a car and needed stitches. Just today, J.D. Vance said that very ICE officer nearly had his life ended 6 months ago. You think maybe he's a little bit sensitive about somebody ramming him? And here's the proof. Court records show Jonathan Ross as the plaintiff's witness. Not only that, photographs of his injuries. J.D. Vance said today that Ross deserves a debt of gratitude for his service. This is a guy who's actually done a very, very important job for the United States of America. He's been assaulted, he's been attacked, he's been injured because of it. What do you think?
Got a little bit breaking news, y'all. Oh, the ICE agent who unalived a 37-year-old lady, mother of 3, in Minneapolis, Minnesota, just a couple days ago, has been identified as Jonathan Ross. His name is Jonathan Ross, the agent. Wow, it's crazy how information gets out there like that. It's like, you know what? I don't even want to say it, man. I looked up some stuff myself, And wow, I was just blown back. Like, the information is on the internet, man. But it looks like that another witness, guys, has come forward. Yes, a female witness has come forward with different footage that tells a whole different story than what Agent Jonathan Ross claimed to happen, that he was hit. It was in the video, he wasn't even touched. The lady described on CNN, she was scared to come forward. And, you know, I can understand why she's scared to come forward. I mean, there's protests going on in a lot of cities around the United States right now because of this incident. Not to mention the two people who were shot by the ICE agents just less than 24 hours ago. You know, you got Kristi Noem, J.D. Vance, jumping to conclusions already, convicted this lady, called her a fucking terrorist, man. One of your employees murders a woman in cold blood in front of thousands of people, and a vice president in Homeland.
I really don't know who they're trying to convince here. The White House just shared a new video of the shooting of Renee Nicole Good. And the only reason we're seeing it now is because the administration is desperate to control the narrative. J.D. Vance took this video, reportedly from Jonathan Ross, the monster that murdered Renee, and plastered it across X, saying that Ross fired in self-defense because his life was endangered. Let's break down what's actually in that video. Renee is sitting in the car with her dog. Her wife is outside filming. She says calmly, "It's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you." Then someone says, "Get out of the car." And suddenly the video jerks away as the vehicle starts to move. That's the only part the White House is showing you, because here's the context they didn't highlight. This woman was a 37-year-old mother. Her car was never a threat to anyone. Other footage shows agents firing shots as she pulls away. And instead of honesty, we get their typical bullshit, posted on social media by the vice president and amplified by the White House Rapid Response Team. Because if the full story supported the official narrative, we wouldn't be seeing some piecemeal footage dropped like some political campaign ad. This is a pathetic attempt at damage control. Their video doesn't erase what happened, and it absolutely does not prove self-defense.
That woman was there to interfere with a legitimate law enforcement operation in the United States of America. What that headline leaves out is that that woman is part of a broader left-wing network to attack, to dox, to assault, and to make it impossible for our ICE officers to do their job.
That woman. He never once used Nicole Good's name as he continued ranting throughout that appearance at the White House. The investigation, if one can call it that, into what took place on the streets of Minneapolis yesterday is now going to exclude anyone from Minneapolis, any authority from Minnesota. It is going to be conducted only by the FBI, and it is absolutely apparent already, Ian, what the outcome of that investigation is going to be. They are going to clear the ICE agent who committed that fatal act of force against Ms. Good yesterday, and they are going to drag her name through the mud and tarnish her reputation. He said that what she had done, ramming federal agents with her vehicle, which, let's be clear, never happened, he said that justifies being shot.
Allegedly, the Trump regime is beginning to scramble with panic due to the exposure that the incident with this ICE agent who blew off the face of a 37-year-old white woman in Minnesota is getting. And with the more exposure that the incident gets from the protests that are taking place in Minneapolis, from the assistant from Minneapolis police force, you understand, the mayor of Minneapolis even speaking out on it. And now other states are getting involved with the protests. The Trump regime is starting to lose the control that they have over this propaganda that they wanted to spin with this situation, making it seem like this ICE agent was doing everything in his power out of self-defense, like he had to do it. Problem is there's too many cameras that picked up everything. They picked up everything, including a slowed down clip right here where the victim who had her face blown off, also one of her children was in the car when this happened, literally yielding and waving to the exact car that the ICE agent who took her life was in to pass. She's literally telling them to go. They tried to make it seem like this ICE agent, you understand, was being threatened. He was never being threatened. They tried to make it seem like she was trying to run him over. He was not in her path. And now they're scrambling. Initially, they were trying to stall off this investigation. They were trying everything in their power to stall it. But because of the protests that erupted literally hours within the situation happening all across Minneapolis and now spreading throughout the United States, they have no choice. So what the Trump regime was hoping to do now was just use the same play that they've always been using, spread propaganda. We're going to tell everybody that this ICE agent was doing what he had to do, that his life was threatened, and this was the only option. Issue: too many fucking cameras. Too many cameras showcasing the incident from all angles. And every angle shows that this ICE agent deliberately took the life of a 37-year-old mother because of his ego, because of his power tripping. You have government officials like Representative Nancy Mace lying on air, stating that you can see the man, the ICE agent, limping away when he wasn't limping at all. He wasn't even in the path of the vehicle to be touched. Shame! They're lying, literally spreading propaganda because they need everybody to believe that what the ICE agent did was okay. It was good, but they're losing it. They're losing it. And now the calls, the demands for this investigation, for there to be retaliation against this ICE agent is so loud that J.D. Vance just today told everybody that he wants the investigation shut down. Not just that, tried to make everybody seem like they were foolish for even trying to investigate him, as apparently, and it comes out of J.D. Vance's mouth, ICE agents have complete immunity. Complete immunity. And so for that reason alone, he wants the investigation to be called off. They're losing it. They're losing it. If there's not going to be a World War III, no, we're headed towards that. I just want to know which one's going to come first, the World War III or the Civil War. Just look at it.
He says that the U.S. Attorney's Office has essentially cut off the state investigations agencies' access to the investigation. What is the precedent for that, and why shouldn't the Minnesota officials on the ground have access and evidence to work on this investigation?
First of all, the precedent here is very simple. You have a federal law enforcement official engaging in federal law enforcement action. That's a federal issue. That guy is protected by absolute immunity. He was doing his job. The idea that Tim Walz and a bunch of radicals in Minneapolis are going to go after and make this guy's life miserable because he was doing the job that he was asked to do is preposterous. The unprecedented thing is the idea that a local official can actually prosecute a federal official with absolute immunity. I've never seen anything like that. It would get tossed out by a judge. So what I'd like Minnesota to focus on is the real issue, that they're encouraging people.
So I mean, according to what he said, right, would that mean that as long as you're an ICE agent, you could technically take out somebody who's really high up there in the rankings and completely get away with it scot-free, right? Where do YNs? Where do YNs at? I don't think, because there's some YNs that don't got a record. Maybe y'all could sign up, get that immunity, and handle business. Anyway, getting back to what we were talking about, though, this is all the evidence that's technically supporting that the Trump regime is actually starting to lose footing or lose control of the narrative that they were hoping to be able to spread with this Minnesota incident. At first, they wanted to hide the identity of the woman. They did not want to reveal that she was white. They didn't want to reveal that her child was in the car with her. They didn't want to reveal that she actually didn't do anything wrong. They didn't want to reveal that she was never in their way. They didn't want to reveal so much information.
I just watched the footage from the officer who shot Renee Nicole Good. He took the video of her final moments And then after he killed her, he calls her an effing B word. This is truly one of the grossest things I've ever seen. And the fact that this administration is excusing this and justifying it should tell you everything about who this administration is. If anybody is still unclear who these people are, they just showed us. The video is available for anybody to see. Please watch it. And if you're not horrified by this, I strongly recommend getting help. Because this should disgust you. If this officer really wanted to make a point, he would have shot her tires. He shot her in the face 4 times, with her wife in the car and her elderly dog in the back seat. I hope you're as horrified by this as I am.
This case continues to divide the country, and more details are still coming out. Was this a necessary action, or did the White House move too fast? Share your thoughts in the comments. Like and subscribe to the channel for more commentative videos like this. Thank you.